all these fake fucking A-logs. Everybody's coming down on Pudahar. They're looking at all of his shit. They're going into his 10-year-old posts. They're questioning whether he's even married. You know, they're doing all the groundwork on the internet to tear this guy up. But nobody's actually going on the ground and getting the actual Kino, which is what I'm bringing today, is we have exclusive audio of Mudahar. You are not going to see this anywhere else, but I actually have audio of this exact incident that is referred to here in this post about him poning some toddler for being annoying, okay? The network on the ground, we've done hundreds of interviews to reconstruct this event and found exactly the audio that of the confrontation. So without further ado,
it's okay for kids to ring up your doorbell once in a while, but to call you a dried up cunt is pushing it far and above unacceptable. I go to this child's mother, repeat the phrase, and she goes off to defend her kid. Rest assured, I taught her how to fucking parent. If you wanna procreate, make sure your kids have good values and learn some damn respect. Cause I don't take that shit. Mutar.
and there you have it. Literally the audio of what occurred that day. I don't think it can be denied that that's him. It sounds just like him. And we have multiple independent witnesses confirming that audio. So yeah, basically I was wrong about this Mudahar. I thought this was kind of a nothing burger. I thought, oh, he's not an engineer. Whoa, dude, a Jeet line about their qualifications. Big fucking deal. And so I didn't watch this video. But I've been informed by Dog Zero Patriots that this video is actually really good. So I'm going to watch it. What the impression I'm starting to get just from like clips I've seen on Twitter and stuff is that this is about more than just he lied about being an engineer. What this really is showing like a 10-year history of lying about like everything. All the time, like every opportunity to possibly lie about his background, about his experiences, even like personal experiences, about everything. He will take that opportunity to lie. And it really reminds me of Boogie. This guy is literally just Boogie, because it's exactly what Boogie does. Is any opportunity he thinks that he can see to gain anything by lying, even if it's something immaterial, it's just like just straight up a pat on the back in the conversation he's having. He will take it and he'll lie. And that's like the impression I'm getting from these clips. And it means that, with a lot of people, it's not really worth digging into like like a ton of their past statements or claims, because there's just nothing to be, it's like panning for gold in the wrong river, right? You're just not going to get anything. But now that it's been established that pretty much every single thing he's ever said is a lie, people are starting to question, like, if he's even married. like this whole thing where he managed to, as the other product says, walk on water for an Indian, which is marry a white woman. Salvo's looking into this, and he has a compelling case here where this is just not even real. And, Nicholas Eats Oreos actually said, and I wish I could bring up the clip, unfortunately, that Mr. Oreo paywalls all of his streams. I wonder why. Probably because he says a bunch of stuff in them that he would not want to be easily accessible. Exactly. But he even says in that by his memory, these two met at a VidCon like 5 years ago, or a couple years ago at least. But that other than that, there's no proof that they actually are married. And, usually this just would not be worth looking into. It's like you're not going to get anything. And there's no gold to be found, right? But with this guy, when you lie about everything, there is. And it's like, so there's like one level where it's, like I said, like lying on the resume a little bit, like buffing up your, I wasn't building a potato cannon with my friend in the garage. I was a executive technical manager overseeing a team of engineers to propel a product across the yard. Like there are ways to talk about this stuff to make it sound like better, but it's beyond that. It's like so far beyond that, the stuff that he's lying about. And it's even beyond, then there's like the level above that, which is the classic, like, when you're in this continent of 1 billion people and they're all like very similar IQ range. Well, I guess in India it's worse because there's like massive jumps in the IQ because of the caste system. That, you know, you do anything to like get out. It's like the Dark Knight Rises. You're in the pit, and so you do anything to get out. So you just wheel and deal and, you know, scam your way out. That's the next level. But like, again, I think he's even above that with some of this stuff. And so, yeah, like Salvo's been apparently talking about this for a while, but now people are finally paying attention to it. So in 2024, he claims that he's married. Muda has a wife, and this is her identifying herself as that. But he's been referring to a wife for a while, and this was in the Harmful Opinions video, that he's been talking about a wife since like as far back as like 2015. Is this a muta? Like, are we somehow tying this into the Muhammad hijab, like Islam thing, where, you know, they do weddings in McDonald's because they're so easy? So he just think anyone that he's like had sex with, or even maybe not, I mean, I would be surprised at this point, is his wife. Look, my braless wife in 2021, okay, and I can't even find a boyfriend. Whoa, buddy. So it wasn't her, I guess. I mean, maybe that's a joke, but I don't know. He's not presenting it that way. Let's see what the comments say. Maybe they explain. Yeah, like, no one's here to, like, I was assuming there might be a comment being like, oh, well, that's out of context or whatever. Yeah, so, like, none of it makes any sense. And he apparently explained, like, he was he never wears a wedding ring, which is kind of wild. I mean, again, maybe that's a Muslim thing, but no wedding ring, nothing. So, like, I guess the timeline, again, I wish I could pull up the clip. He said it literally last night, Nicholas. He said that he remembers the VidCon where you know, the Brooklyn Bridge between the eyes and Pudahar met. And it was like a couple years ago. So I assume after 2021. But then he's talking about a wife in 2021. So, like, even that could be a lie. And what a lot of this reminds me of is another character. One that I don't know if anyone else has talked about him, because he's so, like, he's kind of, I don't even know how big this guy is. But this guy, Abjit NASCAR. Yeah, like the car, right? And this is a guy who claims to have written like 300 sonnets, and like these are all his books, 100 books by the humanitarian scientist. And this guy is the definition of like fake it till you make it, except he hasn't made it yet. He's a celebrated neuroscientist, author of 120 books, world's beloved poet of 2,200 sonnets, and an untiring advocate of mental health and global harmony. As an expert on human behavior, his contributions in cognitive and behavioral neuroscience have helped the world tackle the issues of mental illness, prejudice, hate, intolerance, discrimination, and systemic racism more effectively. Dude, I'm surprised this guy hasn't solved world hunger. Holy shit. He was born in Calcutta, India. Well, no wonder he's a genius. All these guys coming out of Calcutta, man. His rejuvenating scientific philosophy of the mind, has been lavishing human life and society with the colors and sweetness of awareness and acceptance since its advent with his very first book, The Art of Neuroscience in Everything. NASCAR's work has been featured in Psychology Today, Forbes, Huffington Post, Marie Curie, Interesting Engineering, ABC Australia, and many more. And all you have to do is just scratch a little bit under the surface of this guy, and all this is just bullshit. Okay? Like, even this. So this is supposedly his TED Talk, right? And you're thinking, oh, wow, well, at least he had a TED Talk. And then what's the description say? This guy's a fraudster. We flagged this talk, which was filmed at a TEDx event. So this wasn't like at a major TEDx event. This was at some like off-brand TEDx event where he like snuck in. This is like 2070 paradigm shift tier. Okay? Because it appears to fall outside the curatorial guidelines. So this guy straight up is just a confidence artist. He just declares I'm a genius neuroscientist. And the other thing he does, this is why some people might have heard of this guy. He floods tenor gifs with his quotes. Now, obviously, some of these are troll. This is how I'm thinking maybe more people know about this guy. But most of these are actually real. So, like, And it's all just this generic like neoliberal like diversity. It's not even progressive. I wouldn't even go that far, because he also like shits on communism. It's just the generic world baby, UN one world government. There are no inherent traits to anyone. Unless you disagree with me, then you're inherently evil type shit. Okay. And again, you can tell that most of these are trolls, but like I'm trying to find some of them that are real, and he puts them in like every language and just floods tenor gifts with us. Like this one's real. Each of your brains creates its own myth about the universe. Reason is our arc. Love is our compass. Tolerance is not a faculty. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Humanity without science is fragile. Science without humanity is lethal. Like, they're all like this, where it's almost like they're made by an AI. They're all like, this is that, but you are that. And it's like something unexpected, but it's not unexpected. It's just the generic line by these guys. And so he has, and these 100 books he's written, these are all on Amazon. Like, these exist. I almost want to buy one just to see what is even in it. Because they do exist. They're all like 100 pages or something. Black doesn't mean dangerous. White doesn't mean trash. Brown doesn't mean smuggler. Well, that's specific. Muslim doesn't mean terrorist. Wait. So these are races, and now we're just a Muslim? Woman doesn't mean weak, and LGBT doesn't. Where's the Q? Where's the P? Doesn't mean sick. These are the fundamentals that we must realize if we are to build a just and humane society. And so, like I don't even know if he says he's like a neuroscientist. He's like, so much of these claims are just completely unverifiable. And he posts all the time. Like, he is an active cow. And I have it on good authority that this guy, if you reach out to him, he will go on anything, because he's so desperate to like get his message out, which is nothing. There's no message. The message is just, I love we are the world, we are the people. Like that's his whole message. Okay. And so I kind of want to see if we could get this guy for something. I don't know what the angle would be, but how to tell a human, the NASCAR. Oh, so he's quoting the NASCAR test. Okay, here we go. How to tell a human from ape when both look okay, well, only some humans look like apes, bud. Look for the creature that considers everyone outside their religion a heathen, and everyone outside their culture a heretic. Well, that's not what it's not, whatever. That's a textbook ape. Again, this is exactly what I was talking about, where it's like, there's no inherent trace to anything. Race isn't real. Everyone's the same. Unless you disagree with me, then you're an ape, right? Now look for the being that finds the same human spirit in every culture, religion, and nation. That's right there. It's a rare human spirit. Dude, you're totally right. A religion where you burn widows to death after their husband dies. A religion that allows contractually marriages that are contracted to end so that you can have sex in a hotel. A religion that avows prepubescent marriages is totally the same. Totally the same. It's all the same. Nothing matters. Like, why even have rules about anything? Because it's all the same, right? There's no distinguishing features. How to tell a human from robot when they both look the same. Whoa, man. Holy shit. He's right. If the robot looks like a human, it must essentially be a human, right? Right? Look for the contraption that considers everything outside logic without value. Okay, so now we're on to robot. I thought we were defining an ape. That's a lifeless robot. Look for the soul that knows when to and when not to apply logic in life and society. That's a living human. The First Supper. Oh boy. So yeah, this is just like, he literally posts like every day these quote sonnets and stuff. And he's been doing this for years. This guy's been on my radar for like 4 years. It's a thankless job paying attention to abject NASCAR. Abject NASCAR. But I think this guy's gonna blow up someday. Not in a literal sense. I know he comes from a Muslim background, but I don't mean it that way. I mean, I think this guy is a gold mine. I'm telling you, and he's just under the surface of. He's like just every day. Look, there's just all this shit. MAGA Zionism. the way apes understand what's cultured. I'm not that sort of cultured. I'm humanly cultured, which means I live as cure for tribalism, not coddle. I abolish chains, not worship them. I do not entertain stereotypes. I question and denounce prejudice, both external and... Does this even fit a sonnet format? This guy knows that sonnet is like a... It's like a formally defined... Like, there's supposed to be an iambic pentameter, is what I was trying to remember there. And they're supposed to, like, there are rhymes to it. Does he just think that it just is anything that's this amount of line? Whatever. MAGA, Zionism, Hindu Tava, which is like Hindu nationalism, Prima Gli Italiani, Khalistan, Islamism, Turkey. So here's the, so all ideas are the same, all cultures and worldviews are the same, except for the ones I don't like, which are the ones who say they're not the same. Like, you see how they're like internal? This is the problem with like universalism, is the internal logic like immediately falls apart the minute you start testing it intellectually at all. Because if there are, it's sort of like with the Quran Allah problem, where the Quran is this uncreated eternal word of Allah, but it's not Allah. And it's not one of his, like, attributes in a Trinitarian sense. This is the same thing, where it's like, everything's the same, all ideas, all cultures, all races are equal, except for the idea that they're not. And it's like, okay, well, now you just split an idea off, so it's not universal. Dogma is barrier to understanding. Blind faith is obstacle to holiness. Assumption is obstacle to communication. Stereotypes are obstacle to awareness. And this is just a random one. Like, I didn't even pick this out. Like, look at this. Every day. Every day. I should just read one of these every stream. But this guy is like a legendary fabulist. World Youth Forum. I think this is around when he got started. Look how smug he is. He's just like, I talked my way up onto this chair. Because there's like no proof that he's actually a neuroscientist. I don't think he has his qualifications actually linked here. And all the stuff he uses is just full flood of bullshit, essentially, all the time. First work, TEDx will have schizophrenic. Well, I think they should, honestly, because schizophrenics do have some valid observations about the world that I think, I actually do respect the perspective of schizophrenics, honestly. So that I don't even want to dirty the term schizophrenic with this guy. This guy's not even schizophrenic. I think he's just Mudahar who got less lucky. Like, this is straight up what Mudahar has been doing, pretty much, right? What's the difference between 100 books, The Humanitarian Scientist, and what Mudahar does, where he puts out a slot video every day, where he just poorly reads an article that takes 5 minutes to read, but he takes 28 minutes to explain? What's the functional difference, other than just one blew up and one didn't? And, like, has no opinion on anything, like, that's actually distinguishable. So here's his whole life story, his popular publication, because that's the other problem, is he says but there's no thesis. Like, that's the easy way to prove that you have like qualifications that he's referring to, is you just link your thesis, bro. Like, come on. Even if it's like a bullshit thesis, God knows I've seen those. Like, you can just link that at least. The literary works of self-educated scientist have made it possible for us to be acquainted with various aspects of our thoughts, emotions, and behavior. NASCAR's work has been featured in psychology. Yeah, and like, if you look into any of these, some of these I could not verify at all, and others it's like just reporting on an event that he happened to like talk his way into. What is mind? His popular publications, The Existential Nature of the Mind, include What is Mind? What is this? Oh, it's just his fucking book. So we got 5 ratings. And there's just so much to read here. Like, there's so much, it's just, and a lot of this is before AI. So, like, before you present that theory, it's not that. We Are All Black, a treatise on racism. Okay, does this have reviews? Because isn't this racist to say that we're all black? Obviously, I feel like it is racist. Come on. But yeah, they're all like this, where it's like world baby type stuff. It is interesting that like he's been doing this for at least 5 years and it hasn't worked yet. And I think that like when he does get it's just going to be like in a lolcow context. Whereas like Mutahar, I guess he just got lucky. I do the lines between neuroscience, philosophy, poetry, theology, and sociology do not exist in my works. Divisions exist only in the world of amateurs. The deeper you go in mind, the more undivided you become, until you finally realize it's all one. And again, it's like this is like the fundamental fallacy of universalism, is that it's both universal except for when it's not. Oh, look at this one. Whoa, Housemeister, don't be watching this stream. You might get arrested. Apparently Abject NASCAR had a face. He had a based face. Love has no gender. Compassion has no religion. Character has no race. Naskarism. Oh, see, I thought that was a meme. I thought that was like the people making fun of him calling it Naskarism. So yeah, what is the functional difference between this guy and Mutahar, other than just he got lucky, Mutahar got lucky? Because it's the same sort of like lies. It's the same sort of like delusion type stuff, like megalomaniacal. Well, megalo was maybe not the right term for it, but it's the same. It's the same sort of like just fake it till you make it at the absolute most. Dude, we have got merch. We got merch. Based. Should we get a Naskarism shirt? If origin defines race, then we're all Africans. We're all black. Eyes on ambition, feet on the ground, hands on your height. And he's also got like the grind set thing that Mutahar's got, where you LARP that you're doing the Sigma grind set or whatever. The human heart is too grand to be wasted in the gutter of cultural exclusivity. When one NASCAR dies, 1,000 NASCARs will rise. So there is a, isn't that, I mean, that's like is that a call to arms? The greatest country on earth. Like look at this shit. This is what I meant when I said looking at, you can't tell which ones are a joke or not. Because the ones that are a joke are as bad as this. The greatest country on earth is Earth. Okay, war is expensive, peace is free, yet war is petty, peace is... Oh my god, I'm cooming. It's so good. I am the NASCAR. I bridge people. Like, this guy thinks he's Jesus. Who cultivated this outlook in his mind to be like Jesus? So yeah, I posit to Mutahar, please tell me how you're any different from this. And that's the funny thing about this Mutahar stuff. It's not really the specifics of the lie. It's not really the it's not even like the I don't know, it's not like the fraud aspect, really. I mean, that just is what it is. It's that the only difference between NASCAR and Mutahar is 3 million subscribers. But in content of the lie, like, they have the same personality disorder, whatever it is. Love is the only way. All else is futile. Pain of love is pearl of love. All else is vain and vile. Oh, okay. A world without 9/11 and January 6th begins with a heart without hate. No other being is lesser human than the one who thinks. So again, we're all equal. Everyone's of value except for the people who disagree with me. And then all my principles go out the window. How many of these are? Which one of these should we buy? Hold on. It's not written in the stars. It's written by me. I think we should become NASCARites. It sounds too close to Naxalites, which is like a giant communist terrorist organization in India, so we might get in trouble, but I think we should become NASCARites. And like I said, I have it on good authority that you can get this guy to go on any show. because he's just that desperate, right? He's always trying to sneak into stuff, TEDx or whatever, like talk his way into things. Can we have a conversation about this ideology with NASCAR? It's not written in the stars, it's written by me. Broken bone heals back stronger. Broken heart heals back braver. Broken mind heals back wiser. Broken life heals back lighter. What the fuck does that mean? Okay, some of these... Black is brave. Woman is wonder. Muslim is magnetic. Asian is thunder. Prejudice is blunder. Biases are blunt or plunder. Biases are... Let's go. Can we get a beat? Hold on. Yeah.
Anabolic beats.
Black is brave. Woman is wonder. Muslim is magnetic. Asian is thunder. Prejudice is blunder. Biases are blunder. Hate wreaks havoc when hearts are asunder. You cannot build new social circuits without blowing a few fuses. Don't visit any institution where you have to leave your brain at the door. Light is shared. Is light amplified? Light worded is like... I can't even make these ones work. Life is short. Forgive a lot. Help plenty. Love like crazy. Here, where's the rest of these sonnets? Hold on. We're gonna... we gotta find ones that actually rhyme. That's the problem. They don't all rhyme. Wait, drugs, drunk? Come on, NASCAR. Come on, give me ones that actually rhyme, please. Come on, NASCAR. Okay, American with American. Come on. Breaks and breaks. NASCAR, you're leaving me out to dry here, man. Please just rhyme anything. Okay, where? Oh, no. Mind is one big... Whatever, we're gonna do mind is one big lie. Fuck it. Again, I don't have any of these prepared. I just know that this exists. And so we're just looking at them. Okay. Mind is one big lie, unless you examine everything. Life is one big blind spot, unless you question everything. All prejudice comes with a flag. All discrimination comes with a badge. Nothing civilized in waving the flag. Real honor is to outgrow... this guy sucks! This guy sucks! This isn't even the iambic pentameter. Black people are better at this. If you must wave the flag of those who are stripped of their life and dignity. Wave the rainbow. Wave the... Hold on. Whoa. NASCAR, dude. You can't say that. You can't say wave the watermelon, dude. What the hell? Wave the watermelon. No! NASCAR, no! Maybe Mudahard's gonna end up being related to this guy. Sit on the floor once in a while. On the floor, in the fields, on the streets. You'll remember what it means to be human. So yeah, that's NASCAR. This is Abhijit NASCAR. New co-host, friend of the show, Abhijit NASCAR. He's some ordinary neuroscientist. Spent way more time on this than I expected because this is just, it's so much worse than I remember. I haven't looked at this in a while. It's a 122nd release. What are we looking at in the galleries here? Oh no. Well, here's your NASCAR. Oh my god. These are from him? These aren't these aren't from like, you know, A-logs. And there he is at the World Youth Forum 6 years ago. Love has no gender. Compassion has no religion. Character has no race. And here's his big day. NASCAR's big day was when he got onto TEDx. So yeah, this is Mudahar. NASCAR walked so Mudahar could run. Mudahar, you know, he just got lucky. But NASCAR was born in this city. Oh, he's got an email to book a speaking engagement. Oh boy. Oh no. Planet Earth is a planet of vegetables. He's really leaning into this first supper thing now. Don't let looks and suits fool you. Only sentient beings are heathen. Whoa, heathen rebels. Vegetable truth. Yeah, my super cool elite speak name it fucks up my SEO. That was some genius thinking on my part. Vegetable truth. Yeah, I am a vegetable. I need this guy I'm part of the vegetable truth. We're vegetable truthers. And cooked, wow, he's really going with this analogy. Vegetables must be washed and cooked to eliminate harmful bacteria and parasites and bring out their true nutrition. Mind must be washed in compassion and cooked in the fire of reason to eliminate harmful biases and prejudice and achieve our true capacity for life. Planet Earth is a planet of vegetables. Don't let looks and suits fool you. Only sentient beings are heathen rebels, alive enough to question vegetable truth. Yeah, like this guy can't even do iambic pentameter, because that's all you have to do for rap is just like A, B, A, B, A, B, iambic pentameter. They teach you this shit in like fucking 9th grade English, man. Although, maybe they don't teach you that in Calcutta. All right, I think that's enough for the Is that enough for the Naskarism segment? It would actually talk about Mudahar, the original subject of this. I just happen to be reminded of NASCAR by this guy, and I guess maybe the real point I'm trying to make is that the kind of insanity on display here, Mudahar is one bad day away from that. He's bad day away from vegetable truth.
Welcome, I'm Nicandros. If you've been
Also, who the fuck is this guy, Nicandros? He came out of nowhere. And I looked at his channel and it's all Muda videos. I heard people saying he's Muslim. I don't know. Is this guy like... What's this guy's alignment? You know what I mean? Is this guy like... Like, it sounds almost like he's a bread tuber, maybe. Like he's on the left. I mean, it doesn't really matter. The video can be good anyway. That's not really my point. I don't know.
Following
It's just
Someordinarygamers
odd for this guy to come, like, be A-logging, be an ICBM against Mudahar, like, all of his clips and stuff, and then, yeah.
or Mudahar's behavior the past year or so, you might have noticed that something is up. He quits Twitter suddenly, causing people to panic, and then rejoins Twitter quietly months later. He says he won't buy a Nintendo
When I have to clip this video, I don't know if the NASCAR it's gonna make it in, guys.
Switch 2, and then instantly buys one when it comes out. There was even that time he disavowed his longtime friend, Naskarism, but then he took the video down and apologized. Apparently he overreacted to a video criticizing him for watching lowly hentai with Naskarism.
It's funny that... Hold on, let me get this off the screen. It's funny that he was willing to take down the video about Nux, but he didn't take down the video... Does anyone remember in 2020? I think I was reminded of this because, like I said, I watched Nicholas's stream last night because I wanted to see if he had any. I kind of like scrubbed through it before he takes it, before he paywalled it. That's when I saw that he claimed that NASCAR. I'm just gonna call this guy NASCAR. NASCAR met his wife at VidCon, but he also brought up like the video that NASCAR made to take down Ethan Klein in 2020, where he makes like 3 demonstrably untrue claims, all of which took like 2 seconds to prove wrong, and he never took that video down, despite getting completely destroyed. But then he took down the video where he rightfully cut ties with the Holy God.
Watch right now is a little appetizer I've cut out of its body of research, because it was getting too bloated as it is. Anyway, despite saying he would quit drama, not only did Mutahar return to drama, he decided to join forces with Ethan Klein to go after Hassan Piker. It's an odd choice because Ethan doesn't exactly have the highest opinion of Mutahar.
Do you have the part where Mutahar runs outside with a gun?
I don't, but
I'm like, dude, these people are insane.
I watched that live, and honestly, there's all these questions about, oh, how does he have a gun if he's in Canada? Like, is it fake? Is this? I don't think that was fake. I think that was real. He's just retarded. And I also think he has a house in LA or something. Like, I don't think he's living really in Canada. That's how he has the gun. It'd be funny if it was fake. I don't know. People should keep digging into that because he invite him to make a mistake and explain himself is what I mean.
Boogie's not even the craziest one in that room still.
How did you become number one? I don't know. There's been weird shit going on in my chat. And I don't mean like your guys' chats. I just mean, like, for some reason, some of my videos have live chat in the VOD and some don't. And then someone was telling me that the Muhammad Hijab stream, like, a bunch of the chats were swept after, like, not during the stream, but then after in the live chat. And I don't know why. There didn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it. I don't know. So, strange supernatural activity. It's the influence of vegetable truth Naskarism, I guess. I don't know.
Where Mutahar goes, oh shit, is someone stealing my car? And he runs outside with a gun. And then he comes in 30 seconds later, oh no, it's chill, just my brother.
Oh my God.
This pseudo badass weird fucking shtick he's doing is not it. And frankly, he's so mean-spirited and nasty, and he has this weird thing where he needs to act like cool and that he's so successful and rich. He tells Boogie, dude, why don't you upload more? I upload every...
Well, he doesn't have to. He is rich. Like, there's no way, like, he is rich. Like, whatever you say about him, like, who cares, like, how crazy NASCAR is? Like, this NASCAR is rich.
Hey, and YouTube's not even my job. I was like...
The other thing that didn't get brought up, I don't think it's in this video, is when Mutahar claimed to Ethan Ralph that he owns 7-Elevens. I kind of think that might be the angle, is that Mutahar does have a 9-to-5 job. It's just working at a 7-Elevens, and he really does not want to admit that that's what he actually means by property management, because it's just so stereotypical and hilarious.
Shut the fuck up, bro. I think he thinks his real job is being a day trader. I might be wrong about that, but I mean, that's pretty funny. But like, yes, it is. Shut up, bro. I'm uploading every day. Ugh, I really got turned off by Mutahar on that one, man. Really did.
So Mutahar is a poser, and he lies about having a job outside of YouTube. Those are pretty heavy accusations. But who has the time to watch through over a decade of videos?
Yeah, Mutahar's 5 things, exactly. That's kind of what this was. It really is the perfect format. Like, Coach really crystallized the perfect A-log format with the Worski is 4 things. And all other good A-log videos are all just permutations of that, whether they realize it or not.
To check if he's telling a consistent story. I certainly don't, but I know a much faster way of achieving the same end result with only a few hours of effort. I can just search all of his video transcripts at once for certain keywords and timeline the claims he's made.
I play video games and scratch my balls most days when I'm not working. I wake up, I scratch my balls, I do my job, and then I fucking play some video games. I wake up, scratch my balls, play some Mass Effect, make a video, and like do some of my stock work, and that's it. I wake up, I scratch my balls, and I play some Mass Effect, okay? I wake up every day, I do my job, I scratch my balls, I play around with Linux, some video games, and that's my life, dude.
Before we get into it, isn't this stalking? Isn't this a violation of privacy? No, I am going by information Mutahar has made public through pieces of media.
Don't even cover that angle, because now you're inviting that accusation, which is now what people are accusing you of. Like, I've seen that on Twitter. People are like, this guy's a stalker or whatever.
He's voluntarily published on his YouTube channel, or public media appearances he has consented to. I'm also using information from a video that shows his LinkedIn page, which is something he seems to be cool with. He can do whatever he wants in his private life, but if he's claiming to be a doctor or an engineer to make his perspectives more valuable to an audience, validating the truthfulness of these claims about his life become a matter of public interest. If a history channel was receiving undisclosed funding from a foreign state, publishing that information would be in the public interest, even if that...
This isn't the public. Dude, quit the LARP. This isn't public interest. It's talking shit online. Calm down.
Knowledge was gained through violations of privacy. Violating someone's privacy to humiliate them by exposing their porn browsing habits would not be in the public interest. But I haven't gone there, and I don't need to. I also completely disavow and denounce any kind of harassment or actual stalking behavior. Based on my findings, Mutahar has consistently claimed that YouTube isn't his job.
Hey, YouTube isn't my job. Thank God my job isn't YouTube. YouTube is not my job. 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 I use YouTube as a hobby. This is not a job for me, okay?
He works a regular 9 to 5.
Like, I work a regular job every day. I go to my office, I work, I come home, I cut together the video that I recorded the night, or 2 nights or whatever before, and I post that on the internet. It is a therapeutic, fun thing for me.
So what is that job? If you ask Mutahar's fans, they think he's a cybersecurity expert, an IT professional, a video editor. Ethan said, day trader. There seems to be an awful lot of uncertainty about this definitely real job that Mutahar has. Mutahar's also insisted throughout his career that he is an engineer.
I'm an engineer. I'm a fucking engineer. I'm a goddamn engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm a fucking engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm only an engineer. I'm an engineer.
Yeah, and there's all history of the Antiochian church. What? Wait, is this like Antiochian Orthodox? Like, that's a real church. Why is he looking at that in dark? Whatever.
I'm an engineer. I'm just an engineer.
Yeah, obviously the joke here is that this is exactly like the pirate software works at Blizzard at it. And he, honestly, I think him putting this aspect front forward and then talking about like the legality of talking about being an engineer is like the weakest part.
I'm an engineer. I'm just a fucking engineer. I'm a goddamn engineer. I'm a fucking engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer. As an engineer, being an engineer, I'm still an engineer. I'm just a fucking engineer. My engineer, as an engineer, I'm just a fucking dumb fucking engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer. As an engineer, as somebody that is an engineer, I'm saying I'm an engineer. As an engineer, as an engineer, as an engineer, I'm an engineer. Speaking of somebody that is an engineer, I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer.
But there's multiple types of engineers, so what kind of engineer is he?
Okay. I don't care about this.
Regulatory body,
Let's be real.
It doesn't really make sense. Cybersecurity engineer is once again using the word engineer as just a job title. Mutahar clearly wants the prestige of being perceived.
Here's the summary of that whole section, because I have seen that part. He calls himself an engineer. He calls himself a cybersecurity expert. In Canada, you have to like be an officially registered engineer to call yourself an engineer. It's like Esquire in the U.S. In a lot of U.S. states, you have to actually be barred to put Esquire next to your name. It's like that. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, well, I did computer engineering when I fucking
again. What I think this does is it's like the it all comes back to NASCAR. Okay, it's like the neuroscientist thing, where he says he's a neuroscientist, but he's actually self-educated. And like I said, I don't think each individual lie here is really the story. The story is that it builds this profile that goes beyond even simple like resume buffing, Jeet scamming, or whatever. It's like pathological.
Went to college. That's what I did.
Okay, so at least a computer science degree.
I thought when I got into university for a while, and I dropped out like a semester in because I was like, okay, no.
Oh, he dropped out after a semester.
I'm a dropout myself. I've never finished university.
Dude, imagine not being able to finish university in Canada. Like, you're already in the bottom. Like, what's the highest rated university in Canada? Like, is it even in the top 100? University of Toronto is 16 in Blessed Global. Okay, so there's a couple, but like, I don't know. Especially nowadays where college is basically just there to I mean, it's different in Canada, but like in the US at least, university is just a embezzlement scheme to embezzle federal money to people like university boards due to No Child Left Behind making it illegal to decline student loans. So they have like an incentive to keep people in. Like they're not gonna. It's hard to fail out of college.
But I'm not going to dog on like school. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to learn to be
valuable.
Yeah,
why not? No, dog on school. TTD, dude.
Be an engineer. If you're gonna be a doctor, a lawyer, if you're gonna be in the STEM
That's why I
field,
dropped
you
out
need
in
to go
6th grade.
to university. Okay.
You need to go to university to be an engineer, but Mutahar is a dropout. He has no degree.
Are you a computer science major? Yeah, that's what I went to for college.
Mutahar is 4 things. He's a dropout. He's not an engineer. He's not an engineer.
A little bit dropped out of it, you know. I feel like there's a weird misconception. People think I'm like some fucking crazy degree holder. It's like, no. No, I would have been way more in fucking university debt if I went down that fucking route.
I sure wonder why people might have that impression.
Is it bad if you don't get a STEM degree? Look, I'm gonna sound biased as fuck, but STEM degrees all the way. I'm gonna sound biased because, you know, as an engineer, like, you know, you want to get the degree that's gonna get you a job. You know,
That's not the actual. So the argument I would make for why you should get a STEM degree is because all the humanities knowledge that's really important, they don't teach you in a humanities degree anyway. Basically, you could have the equivalent of a master's degree in like English or history or anything, before you graduate high school, if you literally just have a classical education and read like the Western canon, and you will be better read than the average English major, like even at a top university graduate. So ideally what you do is you just cover that. If you go to like either homeschooling or a good private school, and you cover that in the first 12 grades. And then if you want to, enter the actual workforce, you do STEM, I guess, for the extra knowledge that requires specialists that you can't just learn from, pursuing the intellectual tradition of a 2,000-year civilization that we apparently don't respect anymore.
Good job. Not saying other degrees can't, but like,
Be in STEM
you gotta be
because there's
smart.
no women there? Wrong. Because, and if anything, STEM is a great place to meet women because there are all these programs that push women who don't want to do STEM into doing STEM by offering them all these. I've known people like this girls who after high school, they went to college and then they went to STEM because they were offered so many incentives to do so. And then they're not like, they never had a passion for it. So then they don't do very well. And so then, they either change majors or you get married and you drop out too. And then you go to live in the great white ethno state in the sky or whatever. I don't know. But the point is there are girls in STEM, and then there's both kinds. Is my point is there are like women who are legitimately like have a passion for STEM stuff, and that's cool. But there are also a lot of them that get incentives to be in it, and I don't know. It's an opportunity, I guess.
Sometimes he says he didn't always want to be an engineer.
That sounds weird when I say it that way. What I mean is, I don't mean like you take advantage of anyone. I'm just saying that like there's more women in STEM than you'd think because of all the incentives. That's all I mean.
My biggest thing was I didn't really want to be an engineer anyways. Growing up, I didn't really want to do anything. I actually wanted to do law. I didn't go through law. Honestly, I didn't even want to be an engineer when I grew up. Like, I wanted to be a lawyer for the longest times.
Other times he says he's a
Wants to
former.
be a lawyer? Yeah, I wonder why. He would have made a good lawyer. He would have made a good one of these law tuber guys, or you just do the first year of law school and then you drop out to do YouTube, where you just give basic first year law school takes on like like just really simple shit, and then all of his lying and shit would have worked well in that too.
Engineer.
So like being a former engineer, like I virtualized like everything because I like contain shit.
I'm a former engineer. I saw this clip where he said that. That reminds me of Jace Connor's future former Marine. Let me find that. Because his whole character was that he was going to join the Marines, but then didn't. Or he was going to join the Marines, and because of that, you had to respect him because he would be in the future he would be a former Marine. There's got to be a clip of this, right? These can't all just be scrubbed, right? Come on. Where the hell is this? Damn, all the good stuff on the internet's getting scrubbed. All the old lore. Yeah, I can't. Well, at least not from a simple search. That sucks.
Even an ex-engineer.
The coolest ways possible. I'm like a fucking ex-engineer.
But here's the thing. He's been
I'm a
saying
future former ex-engineer.
he used to be an engineer, or that he worked as an engineer for 10 years.
I wanted to share sort of my engineering background with you. Okay, I worked as a fucking engineer, all right, before I went into this shit. I think I know this. I also like to mess around with technology. I myself used to be an engineer before I went to the video editing route.
Mutahar started his channel in 2012, the same year he turned 18. By video editing route, he means that he switched careers after his channel began taking off.
And the interesting thing about this whole YouTube stuff is it actually made me change my entire career choice. I never really thought of myself as an individual who, I expressed talents in film production and everything, and, I never really threw myself into it. I did stuff on the side even before YouTube as well. But this really changed me, and it made me more passionate in the whole
Stuff on the side. It's like resume. I helped my friend make a potato cannon in the garage, so I was actually a project leader.
Video production side too. So now that is my field of choice. Now I work as a video editor. For those of you who don't know what I do outside of YouTube, I do that. I work as a video editor for my own post stuff.
All the programming, cybersecurity, penetration testing work he talks about early on are jobs he supposedly did before he did YouTube, and he didn't like doing it.
Before this, I was a depressed individual, and I was going to go through a certain set path in my career and just go through that and move on, right?
I was depressed, so I decided to trauma dump online to 300,000 people.
And there was a point where I really didn't think there was much else. I was going to go through the motions and everything. And then, to cut down on the stress, and I still have stress issues nowadays, but, back then I had a crazy amount of depression and stress issues. And so to counteract that, I decided, why not do YouTube? And so, one night I went onto the Google Create account and did it, and, and then we started making videos. I told you guys, I'm a guy who used to code bank applications.
Oh, man. This guy really should have gotten on the beard train earlier.
Really boring shit. Now I'm a dude who cuts stuff together. all right, who edits stuff, you know, who does stuff for film, TV, all that stuff. And I can't.
Wow, that was impressive. He just did a little loop of that clip. Why are we talking about he's never proved his qualification? He just did. That was like showing his degree right there.
Stress to you all how important that is to me. And you all have inspired me to go out and chase that dream. You all inspired me to fucking sit in front of my computer and make a video.
You've all inspired me to sit in front of my computer and lie.
When I have some off time, and I fucking love doing.
Is that the NASCAR origin story too?
It.
Baby Mutaha liked to edit videos, and after starting YouTube, he switched careers from computer engineering to film and television, and this is where his actual education comes in.
I worked in film and TV before I still don't have a fancy fucking degree, okay? There we go, I filmed it, alright? I used my film degree to something.
He calls it a film degree, but it's actually a 2-year broadcasting/videography diploma he got from Humber College between 2013 and 2015. If he went back to studying to get an actual engineering degree, he never mentioned anything about it, not a single slip. Mutaha was never a real engineer, but he's been calling himself one for a decade because of tech jobs he supposedly had before 2013 or 2012.
Because I never tell people like what I do. Like I never tell people anything. Right?
Never tell. Okay.
I don't even tell people. I'm not an engineer.
Here's what it is. His family owns a bunch of 7-Elevens. And again, you think I'm joking, like I'm making a stereotype, but there's literally a message between him and Ethan Ralph where he says he owns 7-Elevens. His family owns a bunch of 7-Elevens, and he helps manage those properties. He probably drives between them, make sure that the guys aren't stealing from the register, you know, picks up the cash, like really basic stuff. And so that allows him to say he does have a job. And it allows him to say, because he does say here that go back to, no, that's Nux, dude. That's the guy who he had to disavow for being a lolicon and did a weird thing where he like, dude, that's a whole nother lore. Okay. That guy's fucked. Yeah. Anyway, so his family owns the 7-Elevens. He does the property management, and that allows him to say that he has a job, and it allows him to say that he does property management because he does say that in here. The problem is he doesn't want to say exactly what it is because like it's so funny that he's a Jeet and he has 7-Elevens. So he creates he creates all this other shit, this smokescreen that are all of his hobbies. Obviously, they're just hobbies that are his job, hoping that people think that his hobbies are his full-time job when they're not.
Been one for like years, like fucking for eons at this point, right? Like an internet time.
What he calls him being an engineer is something he did for only a little bit.
I can imagine, like for families, like I mean, just an Indian family alone, it's like, son, you've got 3 choices for what you're doing. All right, you got 3 character classes: doctor, engineer, or maybe a lawyer. All right, like that's it. So you know, I did one of them for a little bit, and then I just pretty much stuck to this life now.
Imagine if you work as a mechanic in high school, and 10 years after quitting that job, you're still introducing yourself as a mechanical engineer. From 2015 to 2020, he claimed to primarily work as a video editor.
Because I'm a fucking editor in real life, anyway. So ever since I became a video editor, and that was my job in life, I work as a video editor. You know, that's my job.
By trade, what I do for a
video editing is my passion.
thing is video editing.
I wasn't always a fucking video editor. Am I a fucking passionate video editor? Do I like my...
You just said it. Yeah, okay.
Job? Yes, I do. My job is video editing. I'm a video editor by trade. No, I'm a video editor. You know, that's how I pay for the strip club in the home.
And
I'm
initially called himself a video engineer.
I'm a video engineer now. I think I know how this shit fucking works.
It's not a real engineering job, but he was still calling himself an engineer. In 2019, he conflated being a video engineer with being a computer engineer.
I'm a computer engineer, so I really computer video engineer.
I'm a computer video editing engineer managing specialist.
Whatever you want to call it. I'm one of those people, so...
Again, totally different qualifications.
Executive. Also add executive to the beginning of that.
One is an actual professional engineer, the other is a job title. In 2020, Mutaha claimed to be an exceptionally successful day trader.
Now, for those of you who don't know, one of my side hobbies turned basic, you know, general second profession of mine.
Jan 2020. I wonder why he's saying he's a day trader.
Is day trading, swing trading, whatever you want to call it. I like to sit in the mornings, sip my coffee, you know, go on the Nasdaq, see what I can look pre-market, buy, sell, and...
Everyone knows some like people like this where they trade like 2 things and then they make like 20%, you know, on $100, right? And then it's like, day trading is my passion, right?
Done by what, 11 or something, and call it a day. Ladies and gentlemen, it's something that I've been doing for almost a year, give a couple months, and
YouTube comment. No. You could do better than that. You are an executive managing social media communications consultant, okay? Not a YouTube comment engineer.
It's definitely a very, like, it's a fun part of my lifestyle. I'm a very mathy guy. I do a lot of calculations in my head. I lose money, but I generally have an 80-85% success rate, and that's just the nature of this stuff.
In 2021, he claimed his job was trading.
Success rate on 3 trades, probably.
and investing.
My job right now, I just sit around and trade and invest. That's what my job is.
But he was still an engineer or a computer engineer. Apparently his dad calls him an engineer who knows computers.
I'm sitting in the room, it's like, when it comes to computers, do you talk about it with my son? Do you act like an intelligent person? Because my son's a fucking engineer, okay? If I'm wrong about computers, I'm gonna believe what my son says, because he's the fucking engineer. You're not a doctor, like fucking insane.
It's such a like boomer thing where it's like, excuse me, as the engineer, excuse me, as a soyum, like, you know.
But he also just sits at home and invests money.
I invest, that's my job now. I just sort of sit home and invest money.
Now, if I was ashamed of only being a YouTuber, that is the job I'd be claiming to have. When asked by guests on his podcast about his computer work, he claimed it's only a hobby now.
I don't know how much you want to delve into this, but like do you do computer stuff on the side,
No,
or that's your main
I
thing?
literally just invest money. Like I buy property and I invest, and that's all I do now.
You're at that point now, you're that big of a baller, Buddha?
I wouldn't say it's like baller, it's just like
Do you do programming? I don't know what that means. Through voice accent.
I do it it's more of a hobbyist thing now for me personally. I'm trying to like work around with consoles at this point, like reverse engineer shit that I have.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's what I'm into now. It's just like it all has become like a hobbyist thing for me at this point. Like just like for me, I look at it, it's like woodworking and shit, like those woodworking channels. I'm like,
So yeah, these are all just his hobbies, and his stealth desire is that you associate his hobbies with his 9 to 5, when really his 9 to 5 is just managing his father's 7-Elevens.
just like me sitting down for 2 hours, like killing time and like working on a long form project, but not something that I would ever care to ever be bothering doing again, even as a career path. It's just too stressful. It's like boring. Well, compared to anything that.
How does he have so much G Fuel? Like how much G Fuel? Like how many scoops is in each of these? Probably like what? At least like 10 or 20, right?
We do now, you know.
In 2023, he's calling himself an engineer a lot, just like before.
Maybe I should move to G Fuel. I should drop Bang and move to G Fuel.
But in March, he claims he just invests money again.
Were you into business before doing YouTube? No. After like, you know, I worked and then.
You think G Fuel wants to sponsor the NASCAR segment? The NASCAR rap segment, maybe?
It's pretty much like my job. Like I worked and then now I have enough money to like, you know, buy property and like invest, and that's pretty much what I do.
In August, he gave the impression he still worked as an engineer.
All right, as an engineer, if I show up to my office and I fuck up, okay, I don't have a job anymore.
But then he also mentions working at his own company that does asset management and property development.
At our company,
Yeah, here we go. Property development. This is what I mean. Okay, so his dad probably own, because this is the way like these Indians work in Canada. This is like a real thing. Is what they do is they pool money from a bunch of Indian families and then make like a development company, and then they pool the money together, they buy a property, and then they hire someone from within like the pooled money to be the developer, and it's just all like internal. That's totally what this is. And they probably they pooled money, they bought a 7-Eleven, he's like part of that, and he helps like manage those. He just, like I said, goes between them, collects the cash, whatever. And he really does not want to admit to being in that, because it's like the stereotypical Indian thing.
like not YouTube, but outside YouTube, like when it comes to our main work property and everything, like our like, asset management.
Someone should look up what the guidelines are for registering, because he has a company that's like Someordinarygaming or something like that. But what they should do is look up his last name, try to find who his dad is, not to fuck with his dad or anything, but just see what companies he is listed as either a board member of or like a public investor in. And I bet you'd find one of these. You'd find one of these like these companies that these Indians make where they pool a bunch of money across a bunch of families, and that would blow this open. I guarantee, dude. Harmful Opinions. I know, you know, a lot of famous people watch these streams. Asmongold watches them. We prove Sam Shamoon watches them. I'm sure Harmful Opinions is watching this right now. He's probably one of the 2 viewers we have. Go look into that, man. You'll find. I'm almost certain you'll find something.
Development and stuff like that.
So before YouTube, Mutahar did the computer, programming, cybersecurity work he thinks entitles him to call himself an engineer. Between 2013 and 2015, he's studying his videography diploma. From 2015 to 2020, he's a video editor, and from 2021 onwards, he's a day trader, investor, and eventually the CEO of his own company that does asset management and property development. He's also calling himself an engineer the whole time. We already know he's not an actual engineer, but is he actually a business owner? Because there's some weird inconsistencies in the things he says about it as well.
As a boss, and I don't know, like this is gonna sound like kind of cold, but I don't make jokes at the office. I don't.
Yeah, and this is how he can say that. And he's gonna say later he has like a pool with the guys in the. There's no office, and if there is an office, it's like a 1-room office that just, you know, manages all of these 7-Elevens. And his coworkers are just the guys he meets up, like sees at the 7-Elevens and he picks up the money from. It's funny because it sounds like I'm joking when I say 7-Elevens, but he has said that he owns them.
Any fucking jokes at an office. I am not this kind of Mutahar, okay? So to explain what kind of person I am, like at the office, I'm just like, How's work? What are we doing? What's the plan for today? Like, literally, it's as matter of frank as I can be. I don't partake in jokes. I don't do any of that fucking shit. And if I see fucked up jokes, you know, which I haven't seen, I stop that shit right there. I always have to, like, you always have to be professional at your office. And sometimes you come across as, like, a deadpan motherfucker, but it's better to be deadpan than, you know, turn your office into, like, what I mean is, like, I never would have my office turn into, like, frat house workplace. Like, it would never be a frat house.
He would never allow his office to turn into a frat house. But 8 months later...
To be fair, like, there is a betting pool in amongst, like, my office friends, because we do talk about, like, which gig streamers dying first.
Yeah, and
Isn't that pretty fratty? Isn't that a fucked up joke?
And if I see fucked up jokes, you know, which I haven't
fucked up jokes.
seen, I stop that shit right there.
Maybe he just sucks at maintaining a professional culture. Could it be possible that Mutaha has been faking having a job all along, doing daily uploads while being CEO 9 to 5?
Well, that's how he can do it. Is like I said, if it's just 7-Eleven whoa, he's looking very evil in this one. Some of them he looks like really sinister. Honestly, it's a tough phenotype he's got. That's how he does it every day. It's because, like I said, his day job is like I said, probably driving between 5 7-Elevens. And then just doing like picking up the cash so that there's not a whole bunch of cash on property and, you know, checking up on shit.
A pretty busy schedule, as Ethan said. When he was on the Unsubscribed podcast, Mutaha made sure to let everyone know he works 9 to 5 and that he's a very serious businessman.
Legitimately still have a 9 to 5.
Yeah, I have a 9 to 5.
Dude, he works in hours and hours. That's what, like, this is...
It's the grind set, bro. It's the NASCAR Vegetable Truth grind set.
I respect it. How many subs do you have on YouTube?
I think like 3.4 or 5 million or something. I don't know the exact
3.5, like 3.5 million. We'll say that. And you're still doing multiple 9 to 5s where you're running different businesses. You were talking about...
How can you do multiple 9 to 5s? By definition. By definition, a 9 to 5 is you are working from 9 to 5. You, by definition, cannot have multiple... What the fuck? You can only be doing one job at a time between those hours if you're really doing the job.
CEO of our own company. Like, I'm the CEO of like our own...
say that publicly on the podcast like that, not immediately get called out by someone for being like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Group. We do a lot of like property and like asset investment around where we live. We're getting into construction and everything too. So it's like for us, like my job is a 9 to 5 every day.
You upload how many videos a week?
A day. Like I upload it every day.
This is why exactly, and why I always...
He really loves bathing in that praise, but it's not enough. He needs to flex more.
Well, that's
you know what? Come talk to me, Mudar, when you've written 122 books and 2,000 sonnets. Okay, get on the NASCAR level, man.
That's like the
It's
algorithm.
not written in the stars. It's written by NASCAR.
Tell, right? Like when you're like an engineer, somebody's like, man, why is the algorithm keep feeding me? I'm like, bro, what's the last 10 things you watched? Gay porn? It's probably going to give you the 11 videos. I'm just saying.
Driving there, we were talking about cybersecurity because that's what you went to school for. You're like, homeboy's very smart. You do actually business, and then YouTube is a
YouTube is always like the secondary side gig.
Then he brags about his charitable donations, and we see behind the curtain how uninformed Mutaha actually is.
Like for me, it's like the receipts. Crazy. If I could tabulate them up every year, you know, like like during COVID, I probably gave away $200,000 of charity, and it was like out of my personal accounts. I don't write any of this off for taxes because I don't believe in writing off charity for taxes. I think it's a pretty shitty thing to do.
Writing off charitable donations is a shitty thing to do. How? Why? All that...
It's a very, that's a very parsimonious way to announce you've never donated money. like he just accidentally declared to the world that he's never actually been like a serious charitable donator. Because it's just not how it works at all. You can't not, like...
That means is that the money you donated is tax exempt. It means you can donate more money.
He's constructing the restocking. Well, that's the funny thing. He probably doesn't even do the restocking. He just stands there and makes sure the untouchable cast guy does it.
Charity, as Brandon Herrera says.
It's a pretty shitty thing to do. Well, for me, it's like
the more money you can write off, the more money you can keep from the government and spend it better, putting it toward more charity.
The money that
How can you be the CEO of a company, a serious businessman who knows his shit, but you don't understand basic accounting?
You want to talk about social battery, like 7 is when I get up. I got to be in meetings every fucking day. My work day doesn't end until like 4 p.m. That's when I get like a chance to open up the Premiere Pro project file for the video, and I get to work on that, and then I get to upload that a day later. Like I don't believe in days off. Like I literally can't believe in a day off. Like I'm always like jittery because I'm like I want to do work. Like I really do like enjoy doing work. Like any day that I don't feel like I do my job,
any day that I feel like I don't drive between 3 7-Elevens.
Cry about it. I'm like this fucking.
Or my dad will yell at me, Butar, did you get the cash from the 7-Eleven? We're going to be robbed, Butar. You see who they're letting into this country now. They're going to rob our 7-Eleven, Butar.
It sucks.
He works till 4 p.m. every day and cannot take a day off. However, he seemed pretty happy to take a day off to watch a video game commercial from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on a Thursday.
I love to read comment sections in videos. That is probably...
Isn't this what they call bisexual lighting? Like, that's what ContraPoint's... Like, that's like a... Huh. Look at those eyes. He looks like a raccoon.
Probably the best part of doing YouTube content creation is reading the comment sections of
Alexa, bring up the raccoon videos. Whoa. Let's go. Crazy. Well, there's our raccoon video for today.
of what a video has to offer. You know, as a content creator, the coolest thing is like when you see like 1,000 comments on a video, because I'm somebody that likes lurking internet forums and just reading internet discourse, right? Especially when it comes to topics I enjoy. So when you read 1,000 comments, you're like, all right, shit, let me line up and get ready, boys. Let me read that shit all day.
This guy has.
Hold on.
Enjoy. So when you read
Hold on.
1,000. Let me line up and get ready, boys. Let me just course, right? Especially when it comes to boy. So when you read, enjoy topics I enjoy.
I enjoy.
So when you read 1,000 comments, you're like, all right, shit, let me line up and get ready, boys. Let me read that shit all day.
This guy has a wife, he's a CEO, he works 9 to 5, and he uploads daily. How do you have the time to read YouTube comments from random people? Check this out.
You should be an upstanding, good citizen, okay? I wake up, I do my job, I come home.
Many of the instances where Muta...
Hold on. Was that a smoke detector?
You should be an upstanding, good citizen, okay?
Oh, yeah. Butar! Who do you think we are? Who do you think we are? You think we like in Gumbu down the street? Who they letting in this country, Butar, with the smoke detector going off?
I wake up, I do my job, I come home.
Many of the instances where Mutahar says YouTube isn't his job are from videos where he rants about how unstable YouTube is as a job because of their never-ending policy changes. These things supposedly don't impact him. He does YouTube to relax, but he's always obviously upset in these videos. He consistently paints himself as a hard worker.
It sounds like you worked really hard in high school.
Whoa. Look how similar their like situation is, despite being obviously very different.
You're talking about taking night classes, doing community service, like side jobs on the side, like.
Yeah, I was working 1,600 side jobs. I was a engineering software technician specialist in 7th grade. Yeah, you may have heard of Anonymous. That was me in elementary school.
Yeah, no, it's blurred. I'll help you understand.
He has this insane work ethic, but he's also curious about how Destiny can get so many things done.
I noticed that you do like a lot of canvassing. Like you actually go out of your way. You launch your own like podcast with like other people to bridges, and it's like, what is next really? Like, how do you kind of manage all that too? That's the other big thing that I kind of wanted to come into because it's like it really feels like you're a one-man show, but you're doing like a lot of shit and you're managing it pretty well.
Destiny's too lazy to cook for himself. He's not the workaholic with an excessively tight schedule. He can never pull back. If Mutahar...
You know, Destiny's always had that gun. Well, not always, but for a long time he's had that gun behind him. Hold on. This? What do you think this... I'm sure everyone's heard of the concept of Chekhov's gun. How you don't show a gun in the beginning of a movie. Like, if you show something in the beginning of the movie, it needs to be used by the end. Like, it has to serve a purpose. I got a theory about this gun. I got a theory about what it's going to be used for by the end of this guy's arc. And I don't want to say it because I don't want to influence the story, but I don't know. I might be proven right about this.
Destiny's too lazy to cook for himself. He's not the workaholic with an excessively tight schedule. He can never pull back. If Mutahar's stories about himself are true, he should not be impressed by Destiny at all. Mutahar also often claims that he's an immigrant and equates that to him being poor or his family being poor. He will say his father had to go through medical school twice, not recognizing the privilege of being able to go through it even once. You don't need to come up with all these hardships you've been through. Everyone can already...
Yeah, well... You went through medical school. Wait a minute. That was an accidental self-report because I bet I know why. Obviously, the West does not recognize most of the qualifications that come from the dark subcontinent. So I bet you the reason he did it twice is because he did it once in Bombay or whatever the fuck. And then had to do it again when they got to Canada.
You see your life as a struggle. You're not white, and you still can't say the N-word. He's got this other laugh about not buying anything expensive.
Very rarely am I trying to pay full price for any of this computer crap. You don't need to, all right? I don't overspend my money on crazy computer chairs. I think whatever I can get at Costco fits me fine enough. As far as my peripherals go, I have some SteelSeries headsets, keyboards, and
as far as my peripherals go, I got 16 bottles of G Fuel.
Logitech mouse, which I think is really awesome. If anything, I overspend on my monitor.
He's so frugal, but he also owns a luxury diving watch worth almost 10 grand. If you have an easy life because you were born to a rich family, just enjoy it. If you're rich, just enjoy being rich. Improve your...
True. True.
production value. Get some acoustic treatment. Get some monitor arms. Show your audience that if you work hard and succeed in life, you can have nice things. Why not? So was Ethan Klein right all along?
I upload every day and YouTube's not even my job. I was like, shut the fuck up, bro. But like, yes it is. Shut up, bro.
I'm not going to claim that Mutaha has absolutely no jobs beyond YouTube, even though the things he says about his business are very vague and inconsistent. However, he has definitely been lying about being an engineer for a decade, benefiting from the prestige, the authority, and the credibility that comes with that label.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the authority. That's really what it, and that's why I said I don't like when people are job forward on YouTube, where they're like, as a lawyer, as an engineer, and then say something that anyone could have said, right?
You don't call yourself an engineer dozens of times. Without specifying, you're talking about programming jobs you did 10 years ago. He's clearly mostly just a self-taught tech enthusiast, not an engineer. He's seen as a cybersecurity expert, or as a cybersecurity engineer, as he called himself.
This is why, as a cybersecurity engineer...
But when he assisted Naskarism in tracking down the V-Shoujo swatter, he fell for a basic social engineering trick, where the swatter, who was a minor, pretended to be one of Nax's fans who knew the swatter in real life, and fed them a bunch of bogus
Very
information.
cool.
I appreciate the random fan who was in that.
Yeah, so this is the guy who, first of all, he like thirst baits in all of his thumbnails, where he has like hentai and shit. That's number one. Number two, he did some fucking crazy thing where he like intentionally showed people more extreme like stuff, including up to like Lolicon, and to see like, quote, it was straight up like it's a social experiment tier. And I guess Putahar got all the way to the highest level, which was just showing him like really bad. I don't know. It's I don't know how it took so long to get done with this guy. Like,
Discord server that actually contacted me and reached out to me about this stuff. Oh my god, you guys are legends, honestly.
V-Shoujo's cybersecurity expert knew this was bullshit. The cybersecurity engineer did not. Mutaha doesn't do drama content anymore because it's all needless negativity, and YouTube isn't his job. However, he still weighed in on the pirate software drama after videos about it began going mega viral. What insight is Mutaha, the computer engineer who knows all of this shit, going to weigh in with?
No. Right now, as a video editor, I do more engineering now, so back-end programming for effects work. I'm working on a new codec for video right now, for H.265, so we can actually transmit better video quality at higher resolutions. I'm actually doing some...
Yeah, he's doing what I was doing earlier, where it's like, yeah, so I clicked start streaming, so how can I describe that in the most high-tech way possible? Well, Captain, we've recalibrated the tachyon array to reverse the field generation matrix of my photon network, and it's gonna blow out their shields, sir.
Something which I want to sell to Microsoft at some point later on. So I've been designing AI toolset that basically you can inject, hopefully, into like video tools, and this could be like video games or whatever, right? So it's like, let's say that Microsoft backwards compatibility, right? So I had this tool idea. This is kind of what I got going in my head. So I had this idea, and I hope to one day sell it to Microsoft, right? So what I do is, since I have a really good video,
yeah, just call one of your relatives at Microsoft. I'm sure there's a lot of. I guarantee if your dad really had to go, like, is a Bombay medic who then had to retake a shit and is in Canada and is probably in some kind of like a collaborative money pooling scheme to buy 7-Elevens in Toronto. One of them is probably related to someone who works at Microsoft, and they'll just lose $1 billion or whatever.
Video background, right? I've been designing neural stuff around it. So what I want to do one day is, you know how Microsoft has backwards compatibility, right? So would it be really fun if I could design a way that Microsoft could take the textures in their video games, right? So they could take the textures mapped in their video games and find a way to AI upgrade them. So like basically use a fucking photo AI, like basically use an artificial intelligence that can scan across, you know, all these textures and just fucking upscale them to like 4K, 8K, whatever they want to go to, and make games look better without needing, you know, developers to make it better, right? That could be an idea for me. It sounds simple on paper. Obviously, it's very, very, very fucking time-consuming to make it even as effective as you want.
He knows how to program video encoders. He knows graphics APIs and AI tools in 2019. What does he know in 2025? What can he add?
One of the code bases that we're looking at over here is this falling particle. Now, there's a lot of numbers that are being dropped in here, and one of the things that you'll tend to see in Pirate Software's code is magic number abuse.
Nothing unique, nothing new, nothing that Coding Jesus didn't say in his video, which Mutaha keeps mentioning.
There's nothing wrong with having shit code, right? There's nothing wrong with being bad at it. I'm not a fucking great coder either.
wrong
I'm actually
with
doing something
shit
which
code. There's
I want to
nothing
sell to
wrong with
Microsoft
being
at some
bad.
point later on. But I'm also not claiming to be this crazy fucking guru hacker expert in the world.
Yeah, for the past 10 years you've been claiming to be an engineer, a computer engineer, a computer science engineer, a cybersecurity engineer. You fuck with code.
Dude, I'm a fucking computer engineer.
I'm a
I sit
YouTuber.
down
Why are
and
you
with
asking me?
code.
You do programming as a hobby, but when it comes to showing your knowledge, you only know the basics. Now you're here judging someone for inflating their credentials. At least Pirate Software's lies didn't break the law. At least he actually worked at Blizzard for 7 years.
Again, when you have an ego, you gotta be able to match it with the skill. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that skill is all the way there. Unless that skill is making a whole lot of spaghetti code. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Just like if you dislike it, I'm out.
Man, what a great way to end a video. Let's check out some of those comments. We love reading the comments from regular commenters like Mr. Obvious. I wonder what he's into.
Mr. Obvious says, my feel win. I might
Okay, this guy has been around forever. This Mr. Obvious guy, he's like a straight up sector head or some shit. He has been there for a while, and there's all sorts. He's like disappeared and reappeared like 3 times.
as well be all for. And then we see some lolly here featuring some underage characters. Here's 2 more drawings of underage characters posted by Mr. Obvious. Kinda strange, isn't it? Mr. Obvious says boys heart emoji. And then underneath that we can see a photo of an underage girl who is pulling anal beads out of her anus using her feet. That's quite the talent.
Oh.
Let me line up and get ready,
Yeah.
boys. Let me read that shit all day.
So, that was my appetizer for my upcoming video. Given his inconsistent stories, Mutahar is either lying about his job and business, or he tells really pathetic made-up stories about them to sound more interesting. Once again, I am not a lawyer. It might not be illegal for Mutahar to lie about being an engineer, but by any reasonable definition, he is a total fraud. He has no computer engineering degree, or even a computer science degree, but he still presents himself as an engineer, a computer engineer, or a computer science engineer. He is
Well, he's an executive software managing engineer, okay?
not trained in this field, and he is not employed at these roles. He is a self-taught hobby.
You know what Putahar should do? He should just eject back to Bombay. because the thing is, like, no one there is going to care about how much he lied. No one there is going to care about any of this shit. They're just gonna see, oh, he made money in the West. Like, he made money. He made money back like in Canada, where like the standards are so high, because they like obviously like worship white people, right? So, well, I don't know, it's complicated, but you know, he could become like a little princeling. He could become like the Prince of Hyderabad if he goes back to Bombay, and it's just like, yeah, I got 3 million white people to watch my shit.